Hi, friends of LinkedIn and other social media platforms. Zach Brogdon here with Cel-Fi by Nextivity. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you to the frontliners that are dealing with COVID-19. That is the folks that are in the healthcare industry, the logistics industry. We could not do what we're doing without you, and so I wanted to say thank you for that. So I'm seeing a lot of really interesting things right now in this industry, this cellular industry, and it's in vertical markets that have been growing, but it seems as if COVID-19 and the coronavirus has really amplified what we're seeing overall. And so my goal for this video is just to share with you what I'm seeing in my territory, the central territory that is, up and down the Mississippi River and around the Tennessee Valley area overall. And as you're probably fully familiar with, there's a lot of manufacturing and distribution and warehousing spaces here in the central part of the U.S. It's a vital piece to the economy here around the Mississippi River, whether it's barges or trucking or whatever the case may be in transportation. There's a lot of manufacturing, warehousing, and distribution spaces that lie here, that are headquartered here in the center part of the U.S. And so for that, there's a lot of things that we're seeing at Nextivity, that I'm seeing in particular, that are utilizing things like Nextivity, products like Nextivity, and the cellular backbone of technology overall. So I just wanted to share some of those things with you. Hope you enjoy what I have to share. It's not going to take too long, but I appreciate you taking the time and listening to me overall. So in warehousing, distribution, and logistics spaces, the technology that are utilized in said spaces are really changing, right? They're ever changing, and they're changing more and more rapidly every year. And there's a lot of different products that are within those industries that haven't really ever been there before. If you think of warehousing spaces and the picking and packing process, it used to just be our minds and writing down on paper and hoping for the best when it gets on the truck, right, to make it to its A to B location, so to speak. But now, with RFID and scanning and barcoding and so many other technologies that coincide with that industry, technology has really taken an advancement over the last few years that it hasn't ever done before. And so for that, I'll share with you that when I was doing research regarding this particular video and what I needed to share, it said that researchers are seeing that in 10 years, in 2030, there will be over 4.3 billion devices on the wireless network in this space alone. 4.3 billion. That is a ton of devices. And so for that, right, you need to have an amazing network behind that to make it work. There's two major networks that I would say are in this space right now. That is Wi-Fi, which has been here for a long while, and then cellular, right? And I'm going to just say it. I think that cellular right now is just as important, if not more important, to these vertical markets than ever before. And within that, right, there's a couple of different products, sub-products, if you will, that are being used in this market, and I'll explain to you what those are. We have handsets like our cell phones and ruggedized equipment, like handsets, laptops and tablets, and point-of-sale machines and scanners and barcoders and many, many other ones, and who knows what's going to come out within the next 10 years. So there's so many different applications that need to utilize a network that's secure and ultimately that's just going to work for them overall. And so some of the products that I've seen is Android has a lot of devices that are ruggedized for 3G, 4G, and LTE signals. And another one that I know of is the Panasonic FZ series. They're using a lot of products on the 3G, 4G, and LTE signals as well. So that's for the totality of this space, right? So are we moving boxes from one location of a warehouse to the other? Are we putting them on trucks? Are there RFIDs in a warehousing space? What is it that is utilizing that signal, right? There's so many different applications. And so some of the things that I'll share with you now on the application side of things is again, are they scanning? Are they barcoding? Inventory levels is another thing that's really, really big and viable in this market, right? So for certification processes, auditing processes. We're going to make sure that we have enough material that we say that we have on the shelves. Do we have too much? I mean, there's many things in inventory to keep certification, so to speak, for these warehousing spaces overall. Another thing is editing and sending data from point A to point B. And so that could be via email, it could be via text message, it could be via phone call, right? So if you don't have cellular connectivity inside of a warehouse space or similar, you can't make phone calls, right? And phone calls are important to call 911. They're important to call your boss for sales, whatever it could be, right? Cellular connectivity is absolutely imperative in these industries. And so I was going to share with you a couple of things that Nextivity is doing and why we've been seen as successful in this industry. So just allow me a couple of seconds to talk about that. So when we start talking about cost per square foot, Nextivity uses a category cable that's lossless. So what does that mean? It's cheaper per square foot to install, so minimizes the amount of material that you need. And so for the customers in this space, the end users, right, they're looking at a cost that's less per square foot than our competitors. We are lossless, being that we use category 5E cable or a network cable. And so instead of using very lossy coax and those types of things, we can get in and get out quickly for limited downtime, which is vitally important, again, to keeping their business strong. If you have downtime in manufacturing, distribution, and logistics, right, that's a really bad thing overall for their company, right? Less productivity means less money. Another thing is we have no RTAs, right? So we don't have to go to the carriers and ask for the system to be turned up, right? We already have that approval from them and the FCC. We also have 100 decibels of gain, which ultimately versus our competitors that have about 70 decibels of gain. But that allows us about 1,000 times stronger signal overall. So again, less equipment for these applications. Warehousing spaces are, prime suspects for us to work successful because of the open space that they have for our products to work as beautifully as we've seen them work in these spaces many a time. So I hope that you enjoyed this. My goal was under 8 minutes, and I think I got there. I look forward to talking with you all about this. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. But my email is zbrogdon, and that's ZBROGDON @nextivityinc.com. Until next time, look forward to talking to you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.